Shop NBC and ShopNBC.com. Be good to yourself.
Morning. We've got a second hour together, and I'm really excited for this hour. This is Stuhrling Watches, and Larry's going to be joining me in a minute. The look and feel of all the exclusivity of each timepiece that you're going to look at in this hour is because they're offered only through Shop NBC. Each look is our look exclusively to you. And we're going to give you a preview and a quick taste of everything we're going to show you in this hour. Some of the most sleek and sophisticated timepieces that I have seen, and I haven't had a Stuhrling show for a long time. I'm really excited about this because these are not things we've brought in dozens of. These are very limited in each piece. We've got for you in your choice of black or champagne dial, a stunning Gents Eternal Sunrise timepiece for $168.75. It is available on a value pay for $33.75. The 90688 is your item number on that. The most limited is the black. And this visit only, we've got, thank you for that. This visit only for $206.90, we've got the Stuhrling Original Gaston Master Calendar Watch available in silver tone, black, or rose tone. The 90917, most limited is the silver tone. And it's a value pay of $41.38. Then this one, this is for the ladies, the Courtly Diamond Watch from Stuhrling. 10 carats of gorgeous diamonds. You're getting your choice of black, white, red, or brown. That is the strap. $167.46 or $55.82 on a value pay. V90874 is your item around that. I'd like to introduce the president and guru and master of Stuhrling, Larry Magen. Welcome in.
And it's a pleasure.
Our first time working together.
First time. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm very excited about this show because it's going to give me a chance to actually to show our watches to a new audience.
Yes.
Anne's audience, okay?
Yes.
And we have some fabulous new pieces in the show, and I'm very excited to share our new pieces here with this audience.
He's right, fabulous new pieces, things that are so limited. We, in this hour, also have a today-only opportunity for you, so that will be just for the next 24 hours, so grab it. You're the first people to see this today. I believe you have one more hour later. Two more hours later today. All right, we're going to start with this incredible timepiece, which is one of the lowest prices of the hour. It's $60.07 for a Stuhrling Original Newberry Mesh Bracelet Watch, and it's got a value pay also of $30.03 on it, Larry. And let's take a tour of this because this is absolutely gorgeous. Men or women would love this.
Absolutely. It's a nice case size, so it can go both ways. It's about a 38mm size case, but this is new. It's from our Ascot Park series, and it's got a Scandinavian influence to it. And this is actually a great timepiece, Anne, for everyday wear. For a lot of guys who work in the business world and in an office environment, you know, maybe they wear a tie every day or a suit every day or that kind of a sport coat kind of a thing. This is great for just every day at the office. It's got a Swiss quartz movement in it, which means it is great for every day. You don't have to worry about the movement. You can lay it down for 6 months and pick it up, and it's going to be pretty much right on the money.
Fantastic.
Takes very little care. The mesh bracelet, it's very low profile, as you can see, very slim, very thin type of a timepiece, which again makes it even if you want to think about in terms of summer, you know, you don't necessarily want to wear a big, heavy watch.
Great. That's a great point.
You know, summer's coming up and hot days and so forth, something that's not going to weigh you down. It's just there on your wrist, you can tell the time. But even for a very simple timepiece, this is something that when it goes to the make of the watch, I'm talking about Stuhrling Original, and you'll see all of the Stuhrling details that are present on this watch. Okay.
I'll let you try that on, Larry.
Well,
This is, it's a really sophisticated look. The mesh bracelet, you're right, is so comfortable.
Right.
Well, that looks great on you.
Yeah. Well, here it is with a suit, and this you can see what I'm talking about. Just a very understated, simple elegance, and you know, it was Leonardo da Vinci, Anne, who once said that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication.
Did he say that?
Yes, absolutely. And you know, this you certainly have it here. And if you take a look, even on a simple Scandinavian influence type of a watch. Take a look. The dial is what we call a split-level dial. That's detail. It's not just one piece. You see it's two pieces. You see how the center is somewhat recessed? But take a look at all of your hour markers. Those are all individually applied to the dial. So you have all the watchmaking bells and whistles here of a really well-made timepiece. It's not just a watch that you picked up. And then one last thing before I
can't believe the price, too. For $60, this looks like such an expensive timepiece.
Absolutely. And here's another thing you don't see very often. When you typically have these mesh type of steel bracelets, you're typically going to have some type of a clasp or a clamp where it actually kind of impinges on. This actually has an actual buckle, okay, and you have the
You're right.
grommets.
Look at that.
You almost rarely ever see this, and this is something that is so typical of Stuhrling Original. We put so much attention into the details, and we try to do things that are unique to every watch.
This is incredible. This is the first time I've seen this.
Yeah, typically for these mesh bracelets, you'll have something where the clasp will actually crimp and hold on to the thing. Here you actually have a buckle, and you have what we call they call it a keeper, okay, or like a belt loop, but they're steel keepers, okay? But again, this is something that typically for Stuhrling, and this would be a great gift item as well.
This is the perfect gift item of the hour if you're looking for all those guys graduating, or gals, it could be for ladies too, but those sons, those grandsons, those nephews, graduating from college, graduating from high school, wanting to go into the workforce and make an impression.
Oh, definitely.
And you're doing this today on a value payment of $30.03. It would retail for $240, Larry, and we're giving it away for $60. And it's simple, it's stylish, it's classic, it's elegant. It's got that great case size of 38 millimeters.
You know, one of the things about Stuhrling Original is, you know, we're very unique in the watch industry, and because it goes to the way that we make our watches. We're all about respect for the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend. Our watches are all manufactured by a Swiss watch company. We take great pride in that. It's all done the Swiss way. Just as an example, on a timepiece like this that you might expect, you're paying $60 here, you might expect probably what you'd get in most other venues. You'd get what is referred to as a cast case. This is not a cast case. This case has actually been blanked from a solid bar of 316L surgical grade stainless steel. Okay, and that's where you can feel the importance and the significance and the heft of the watch, even for a thin, slim watch like this. It's the kind of thing that you don't really notice until you actually put it on your wrist and you hold it in your hand.
I love this. This is just blowing me away. You know, to be able to get that adjustability and that extra really level of detail that you've done right there. And I think too, when you think about getting a Swiss quartz movement watch, you're getting this incredible mesh bracelet. The thin, wafer thin quality of this not only makes it comfortable, but it really is a sophisticated, expensive looking timepiece. So this would be a gift I would be so proud to give anybody.
Absolutely, and you know, you look at the retail value there, and I personally feel that's selling it short, because you see simple watches like this that sell for far less than this, but they're not going to have individually applied indices. If you look at all the hour markers on here, those are not printed on there. They're not embossed onto the dial. They're separate pieces that are actually applied to the dial. They have little pegs that go through the dial, and they're actually sealed on the back side. You take a look at the pattern that is actually embossed into the dial. That is done with vintage German machines, and it's as you can see, it's an Argyle-like pattern.
Take a look at that. That was going to ask you about that. The Argyle pattern done with vintage German machines.
Right. Each dial is actually made one at a time. The material itself is brass. It has to be soft enough to absorb the guilloche, and we're known for our dial work.
You know, I'm looking at this, Larry, and I think too, when you look at the fact that, of course, the price is there, but the quality is there, and the wearability is there too. Not only is it comfortable, it's water resistant up to 165 feet. It's going to fit almost everyone's wrist because it's an 8 3/4 inch bracelet. And that is, again, item number, oh, that's so stunning. It's item number B90873, value payment of only $30 on that. That is our lowest value payment of the hour. Now, today only, we're going to offer you a special price on the Stuhrling San Marco Power Reserve. It's a clearance price of $199.98. It's 4 color choices, too. It's V90150. Silver tone, rose tone are the most limited. And that is $39.99. Okay, get ready, because today we're going to also talk about things for the ladies. And this is, oh my gosh, this is my taste 100%.
It's our Lady Wall
Love
Street.
the color in these. And this is the Stuhrling Original Ladies Wall Street. This is a skeleton automatic strap watch for $100, $25 on a value pay. It's available with the orange or the pink.
The orange is not even pictured in the
No, we're going to show
graphic.
that to you in a minute, the orange or the pink strap. And this is just absolutely gorgeous. The skeletonized inner dial. You've got a case that's a 35 millimeter case, which I think is perfect. And the pink is my favorite. There's the pink.
Yeah, very nice. You know, for years, men have been wearing skeletonized mechanical watches, and it's paying tribute to the watchmaking industry. It's a conversation piece. And now, you know, one thing that we try to do with Stuhrling Original, Ann, is we try to maintain the same level of technical achievement for the ladies that we do for the men. and we've been doing a number of ladies' mechanical watches. And here with the Lady Wall Street, we actually now have a skeletonized mechanical automatic timepiece. There's no battery in this watch, ladies. And now you too can, you know, it's called, the name itself, the Lady Wall Street. It's kind of a business. It's like, okay, if you're a woman in the working world, if you're could be an attorney, could be a real estate woman, a judge, or whatever you are, you know, you can walk into the office and say, hey guys, you know, take a look at me. Take me seriously too.
Completely.
I can wear a skeletonized mechanical automatic timepiece too, just like the guys, but it's done in a feminine way. And here, as you mentioned, it's a 35mm case size, which is a bold size for a lady, but it's not overstated whatsoever. And here, the idea behind a mechanical automatic timepiece that's skeletonized, a lot of times you'll see mechanical pieces with no battery, but you don't see it. You know, the dial covers it up. With a skeletonized, it's actually more expensive because what they do, Ann, is they cut away all the extraneous metal parts, okay, to leave, you know, to take away as much as possible and still have a functioning timepiece. And then what's remaining, they decorate. And if you look real tight, you'll see the little scroll work that's been done, the hand-engraved scroll work that's done on what's remaining of the top plates on the movement.
You can see that intricate detail is what sets it apart as well. I like the fact, too, that the dial on the orange is yellow, a little bit of a contrast, and then you've got more of a ballet slipper pink dial on the fuchsia strap. Now, these are, of course, $25 on a value pay. I'm going to have my visual expert, Andrew, put one of them on my wrist because I'm going to hold one at the same time. I'd like to put the pink one on. Let's talk too about your company, Larry, because you know, Stuhrling has been around, one of the oldest timepiece companies that I have ever worked with.
Well, we have roots dating back to the 1800s, Ann, but this particular incarnation of the company is about 8 years old now. Okay. But the important thing about Stuhrling, we're kind of in our own category in the industry. Again, that goes to the way that we make our watches. We're manufactured by our exclusive manufacturing partner, which is a third-generation Swiss watchmaking company, but it's done outside the borders of Switzerland. And so we're able to bring watches made by a Swiss watch company at a fraction of the price and a fraction of the cost. But everything is done with Swiss technology, Swiss engineering. These are all engineered from scratch. There's nothing that's like off the shelf, off the rack here at all whatsoever. We engineer everything. Now, this strap that you're pointing to, this is a genuine leather strap, but it's got the lizard embossing, as you can see. And the pink on that, you know, I have a tough time with that particular pink. It's not a bubble gum. It's not a cotton candy.
No.
It's not a rose pink. I know that I did a show recently here at ShopNBC with another host here, and she called it a Cosmo pink.
Like Cosmo, the drink Cosmo? Yeah, it could be.
But,
you know, it almost has a little bit of a coral undertone to it.
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that the dial is a little bit different color pink. So it's a ballet slipper pink and then that Cosmo pink. I like that too.
Yeah.
Then we have it for you in the orange with the yellow dial. So again, beautifully done in every way. And I think too, how many, 20 jewel movement is that?
Yeah, it's a 20 jewel mechanical automatic movement. There's no battery in the watch, ladies. You don't have to worry about changing batteries or anything like that. And what you do is when you first get it, you give it a good winding, wind it up by the crown, and you'll notice the crown is offset at the 4 o'clock position, not at your traditional 3 o'clock position. Gives it a little extra styling, a little extra panache, okay? And then just by doing your everyday chores, duties, tasks, running around, it's going to, the rotor on the backside is going to keep the watch wound.
And look at, isn't that interesting? Look at the back of this. Now this, every detail of this absolutely is a status symbol. And I think you said it before, Larry, if you were wearing this on Wall Street or to your kid's soccer game, I mean, you're going to get women stopping you, asking you about this timepiece.
Right. Now, the strap on this orange strap, to me, is kind of a little bit of a burnt orange, almost maybe a Texas orange. But the dial itself is, you know what the dial reminds me of, that orange? I'm trying to name these colors here. To me, it's like Tang. Do you remember Tang?
Yes, I do.
You're way too young.
I know
for that.
I'm not. I'm a lot older than I look. I remember Tang, and it looks like Tang. You're right.
But Tang's
Do you
still
remember?
around,
Do you remember
actually.
Space Sticks?
No. I'm sorry, I don't. But it's not because I'm not old enough.
No,
because...
Tang and Space Sticks were the same generation. That's what the astronauts ate when they were in space. They drank Tang, right? Supposedly.
But anyway, so there are little different oranges there. But and also the crystal, you'll notice the crystal that's protecting the watch is a domed crystal, and that's typically much more expensive to have a domed crystal. And the crystals that we use are Cristerna. And Cristerna is proprietary to Stuhrling Original. It comes from the eyewear industry, what eyeglasses are made from. And it is the most shatter-resistant crystal in the entire watch industry. It has more strength over a spread surface area than sapphire.
Cristerna does. More strength resistancy than sapphire?
More strength over a spread surface area than sapphire. So it's not going to break, okay? It's not as hard as sapphire, but it has more strength. Which, you know, you're not going to bang it or knock it or drop it and it's going to break. That won't happen.
Well, what is so fun about this, too, is that in this hour, Larry, it's possible for maybe someone is still online getting that previous timepiece for their son. Get this for yourself. Now, it's $25 on any major credit card. That's what value payments mean. And you're going to own this forever. It is a status symbol. It's a beautiful fashion piece, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that the watch that you're showing on the screen now, the orange, okay, this would, to me, would be good for ladies that are good with earth tones. You know, if you wear the browns and the cinnamons and, you know, rusts and those kinds of colors, you know, I think that would be a good color for you. The pink, I think, goes the other direction.
I think you're right. This is probably more of a universal color that you could wear with anything, whether it be blacks or browns or even your jewel tones. But, you know, the thing I like about both choices, Larry, is that in the world of fashion, right now the gem tones are the #1 color out there in the world of fashion. So maybe you're picking up on a yellow sundress or a cute pink sundress, or you're getting into the world of the purples. Either one of these would go with those jewel tones, because the one thing people are doing in full force is mixing jewel tones together.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't really talked too much about the value of this piece at this particular price. I know that's, you know, it's something that you like to address, but it really is a tremendous value for many, many reasons. Right off the top, a mechanical automatic at this price is fabulous, but now you have a skeletonized, and you have to understand, skeletonized movements are more expensive because they must be decorated. It's like if you were going to have company come over to your house, you might want to clean up a little bit before they come. You wouldn't want them to see your mess.
I wouldn't.
Well, when you know a movement's going to be seen, like this is, it's going to be decorated. That's more expensive. And then on top of that, it's a ladies' mechanical skeleton. Ladies' movements are more expensive than the men's movements.
And you don't see this often. You're right. It's a rare look. It's a rare opportunity for $100 to get this. Now, it typically retails for $395. You're getting it on a value pay of $25 in your choice of the orange or the yellow leather strap with a wonderful reptilian embossing on them. And, of course, you can see the movement front and back, and you've got a gorgeous work of art from Stuhrling for just a mere $25. It's V90769, and that is extremely limited in the orange. The orange was the most limited color of those. We're moving back into the gents timepiece. Oh. And this, Larry's already getting excited about this. Today only.
That's what I went,
Today only. You're going to have to put this on.
Oh, absolutely.
Less than a handful in silver tone. We also have it for you in rose tone or gold tone, and today only. That means till midnight today, $149.35, or a value payment of $49.78 for the Chernobog mechanical watch. We're going to talk about what that means in a minute, but this is, you've got to put this on, Larry.
Oh, absolutely. Don't miss this opportunity.
Oh, my gosh.
This is if you're not really familiar too much with you know, watches and watchmaking, you're somewhat new to watches, this is really kind of a very special piece because, as you can see, it's highly, highly skeletonized. It's a 17 jewel movement, and as you can see right on the screen, you're saying, gosh, that looks rather large. It's very large. This is an oversized pocket watch movement that's put into a wristwatch. It's a real collector's piece. It's a real conversation piece. And this is a pure mechanical, which means it's not an automatic. It must be wound like they did in the old days. Any guy who is into watches, ladies, if you have anybody in your life that's really a watch guy, they would love to get a piece like this. It's a real collector's kind of a piece. And take a look at it on the wrist. It plays like, you know, $1 million, as you can see, okay? But
that is a hot look.
But I'm going to show you the back on this piece. This is a highly skeletonized piece. And as you can see up there at about the 1 o'clock position, you see that big kind of coil? That's called the mainspring at the 1 o'clock position. I know you see the balance wheel that's oscillating over there, beating back and forth and at 21,000 vibrations per hour. But you see the big coil? It's all fully wound. It's almost like a solid block. That's what's powering this watch. Again, there's no battery in the watch, ladies. And it's got a nice big curved dome crystal on top. The case is very imposing here. It's an oversized balance wheel with an oversized mainspring. But this is why you're going to buy this watch, guys. Take a look at this. I mean, you can almost wear this backwards.
That's so impressive.
It's unbelievable. Take a look at all the hand-engraved scroll work as we come in real tight on this piece.
Okay, you're looking at, I'm mesmerized by this.
Oh,
This
it's
is
amazing.
a really great timepiece. It's a bigger size, which of course is one of the most popular things going on here are the bigger size timepieces for men and women. 53 by 47 millimeters is the case. It's 165 feet of water resistancy. And again, you've got that Cristerna crystal. Let's talk about that because I like the fact that this is something you're not going to have to be gingerly with. It's going to be very strong and durable for you.
Oh, absolutely. But even for Cristerna, which again is proprietary to Stuhrling Original, to do it in a domed crystal, a curved crystal like this, it's more expensive to do that rather than a flat crystal. Yes, they're made in a lab, but still, to cut it and polish it in a curved fashion like that is expensive to do. And you mentioned the name Chernobog, and Chernobog. Are you at all into movies and animation?
I am, yes.
Animation too?
I do. Like
Okay, well,
I've got kids, so I've watched all that stuff.
Chernobog is probably the most evil of all the villains in the Disney.
He is a Disney character. I thought so.
From Fantasia, 1941.
Yes, I remember him. He was.
Night on Bald Mountain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But, he comes out at night and he terrorizes all moving life and everything. but when the sun comes up, he's powerless.
He's powerful. But this does have almost a secret agent look to it. Silvertone just sold out. Okay, we've got it for you in rose tone or the gold tone. And this is one of the most impressive timepieces I've seen for the price, period.
Yeah,
$149.35. You've got not only visually impressive timepiece accoutrements, but you've got, of course, the today-only price of $49.78 to get this. Now, you were wearing the rose tone before.
Rose
Let's
tone
give
has
you the yellow tone.
has the brown strap, and here's the gold tone. Now, this is 23 karat yellow gold layering on top of 316L surgical grade stainless steel. The rose tone is actually 16 karat rose gold layering. Okay. But here's the gold tone black. It actually goes pretty good with what I'm wearing here.
I think it looks stunning.
Black rather than the rose tone looks good too, but it's got a brown strap, almost like a deep wine brown.
Almost a deep Merlot, you're right.
Yeah.
So the rose tone is the deep brown.
But what defies
gold tone is black.
explanation here is the offer here, the today only. Now, we're not real deep on these. You have to move quick, but take advantage of this because we've actually had this piece here for much more than this.
We've got that spectacular 17-joule mechanical engine that powers this, and it can hold, it's, according to my cue card, 40 hours of power reserve on its large mainspring. So then
when it's fully wound.
When it's fully wound.
And the nice thing about having a skeleton watch is that you can actually see the mainspring right through the dial. So you can look at it, and when the bands are becoming a lot of space, just look down and wind it by the crown.
And I want to point out that we are, as we continue showing this today only opportunity, we are starting to get a little bit of a weight building in our phone center. So please call in. If you want this, we just sold out of silver tone. We have less than 2 dozen left in gold tone. Rose tone, about the same story. This is supposed to last the day, though. So tonight at midnight, the price goes back up to our really great price of $230. It would retail for $490. Today, it's $149.35.
Now, listen, I'm really big on ladies wearing men's watches.
I am too.
But I would have to say, I'm not so sure you'd have to, this is large. This is an extremely large case. And you have a very petite wrist. I'd like to see how this looks on your wrist.
Let's just take a look and see what that looks like. I actually would wear this size.
You would?
I would. I'm a huge fan of what you just said.
Well, women wearing a men's watch is kind of like, a power thing.
It is. It's
powerful
very
women.
funky.
Going all the way back to the early days of Hollywood. Some of the most powerful, Marlene Dietrich, Katharine Hepburn. They used to wear. They were known for wearing men's watches.
Well, this is 53 millimeters by 47 millimeters. You've got a strap measurement of 9 3/4 inches, so it's going to fit everybody's wrists, ladies and men alike. And you're right, it's one of the bigger timepieces of the hour, so it's definitely masculine in its presence. However, I know lots of ladies out there will want to be wearing this as well. It's $149.35 today only. For today, it would retail for closer to $500, and I know that you can purchase Stuhrling elsewhere in very fine retail stores. You will not get this particular price and this particular piece anywhere else. So you have 2 choices left: the rose with the black strap, the rose with the brown strap, or the gold tone with the black. Do you have a favorite?
Actually, I'd probably say the silver tone, which is
sold out, so that doesn't count.
Which is sold out. If I had to go with one of these two, I would go with the gold tone because I like it with the black strap. I have more.
I like that too.
I have more suits and clothing to go with the black.
Let's just talk for a second. Guys, are you trying to find a new job? I'm going to talk to all those men out there who are in the workforce trying to find something, and I know so many men who are.
Sure, I know a lot of people.
It's that kind of economy. If you're trying to get a great job and you want to make an incredible first impression, get this timepiece. You put this on, and I'm going to have Larry put this on his wrist.
Sure.
Just imagine, without, and then you see somebody with that on, they look impressive, they look successful, they look important. It's a status symbol, and you paid $149. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is, maybe you've already got a great timepiece that you love. Replace it with something more modern, more status-oriented. This is it. For $49.78, Larry, just think of how much more of an impression you're going to make in the workforce, or maybe you're trying to meet that special lady, and you're going on that first date. And I'm going to tell you, thing I notice about men, shoes and timepiece.
I was going to say the shoes.
Shoes and timepiece.
Yeah, absolutely.
They
Did you notice my
matter.
shoes?
I didn't notice your shoes, but I noticed your suit. Oh, you have nice shoes too.
Thank you.
You're all decked out there. Yep, you would pass the test.
Well, I heard about you.
You heard that I look at your shoes. He would pass the test because he's got great shoes and a great timepiece. So whether you're trying to meet that special lady or you're trying to get that great new job, people notice that, employers notice that. It's going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's from Stuhrling, and it's, again, today only for $149.35. Get it for yourself, guys. If you've got that son or daughter, a lot of ladies would love to wear this, but I say maybe son for graduation, son for his first interview out in that workforce. Maybe he's graduating college, and he is going to have a hard time finding a job in this economy. This is going to help you, I think.
Well, if nothing else, it's a great conversation piece. It's funny how, watch guys are always looking at other guys' wrists and looking at watches and just kind of hoping to get into a conversation. And a simple little thing like, oh, what kind of watch is that? And then if you're a watch guy, there you go, bang, it goes right into it. And before you know it, you're changing watches and saying, here, try it on, and you're taking them off. And it's just a great conversation piece. And, this one here is a pure mechanical. This is a real, for traditionalists and purists. There are a lot of guys out there that they don't want the mechanical automatic. They don't want the rotor on the back. They want it like the old days, like you had to wind it. And that's what you have to do with this one.
With a fully skeletonized dial, which is so impressive. And from a distance, you can see that. It is something that I believe you get stopped by other men for, and women. But you've got the two choices right now for today only. The one that I'm holding is the brown strap with the rose tone dial, rose tone case. And with the one Larry is holding, that's the gold tone case with the black strap. And they both have that Croco embossing on it, which looks very high end.
Absolutely, the alligator embossed. In the old days, the whole idea of skeletons and everything, watch companies, watch makers used to have competitions of, how much of the movement can we actually cut away and still have a functioning timepiece. And that was really the whole genesis of where skeletonized watches came from. And then, then they would decorate them with engraving and scroll work and engine turning and all kinds of different mechanical decorations. This one, is one of the most skeletonized that you're ever going to find. Take a look at it.
This completely skeletonized dial, you're looking at a case measurement of 53 by 47. Really interesting shape to that. The entire look of this is just spectacular. You've got 17 joule mechanical engine that powers this, and what did you say the battery or the power reserve on this, on the mainspring is?
I'd say 38 to 40 hours.
Okay, sold out in the silver tone. You've got the yellow and the rose tone. This is so much for your money. $149.35. It would retail for closer to $500. So right now I need to let you know, 2 dozen left in the gold tone. About the same story in rose. Gold is the most limited in that piece, and the item number is V90151. That's for today only. Just until tonight. If they last, they won't. And then not only do we have a today only, we have a this visit only, and that means for this hour only, we're going to give you a price of $206.90. $41.38 in your choice of silver tone, rose tone, or black. And that is going to be flying out of here, especially in the silver tone. That seems to be the most limited.
That was the Gaston, which is a brand new piece. It's never been seen
Another
before.
Disney character. Or no?
Well, another famous movie character.
Famous movie character. That's right. All right, clearance pricing. We're doing clearance pricing now. Clearance pricing for you on the original San Marco Power Reserve. And when I saw this before the show, absolutely went gaga over this. The champagne dial, I
This
believe
is
is
the
my
Eternal
favorite.
Sunrise 2.
Oh, my word.
We were showing the San Marco before, but this is the Eternal Sunrise 2. And this is a very dressy timepiece. It's gorgeous. This is and it's a great everyday office-y kind of a piece because it has a very high-end Swiss engine in it. Swiss quartz movement, yeah.
$168.75. It's our intro price, $33.75 and a value payment. We're going to give you a full tour. You've got your choice of the champagne or the black dial. And the most limited is the the black is the most limited.
Yeah, this is great. Now, this is our Eternal Sunrise 2. Our original Eternal Sunrise looked very similar to this, but it was in a 40mm size case, which is a nice size for a standard dress. But nowadays, the trend has been for the last couple of years, watches for men are getting a little bit larger and a little bit larger. This is a nice 44mm size. I'm going to show you, what it looks like on a man's wrist, but it makes a very nice impression. But what really is the calling card for this piece is the exquisite dial work.
Right.
It's got what we call a guilloche soleil pattern, okay? It's embossed with vintage German machines, and you see how the sun ray pattern is emanating from the small second subdial at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely stunning.
That's actually your second hand at 6 o'clock. And
okay.
You have what we call a big date up there at 12 o'clock. This is the Ronda, I think it's the PowerTech 517 movement.
Swiss
in this.
Ronda.
But yeah, but it's a really expensive quartz movement. There are lots of different levels of quartz movements, even Swiss movements, but this one is from Ronda. It's one of their PowerTech movements, so you know you're going to have a piece that will just last forever. You will have to change the battery about once every 4 years on this piece. But it's a beautiful dial. It's very elegant. It's very classy. I mean, you could literally wear this with a tuxedo if you wanted to.
And this is a great case size. You're right. It's 44mm case, and for those men who want a large size case, but also a comfort. This is a great style for them as well. It could be for a lady too. Oh,
definitely so. But look at the impression that this makes.
Incredible impression.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And
now, you've got a black strap with that.
Yeah.
So yellow, gold tone case with a black strap, or the other is the silver tone with the brown. And I'm going to set mine up here as well. We've got the champagne, and Larry's wearing the black.
Right. Now, you said silver tone with the brown. Where do you see that?
Black, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a black strap. Okay.
It's kind of it looked brown to me for a second, but it's black. You're right. It's black.
Okay, I was just
both are black.
I thought maybe we had a third execution.
Let's look at that. Okay, I'm colorblind. Black and black. We've got silver tone, and then we've also got the gold tone, and the champagne dial is gorgeous too.
Yeah. But black and gold is always a very striking.
It is.
Like wow, and all the hallmarks of a Stuhrling original are here. You have the individually applied numerals for the hour markers, the beautiful guilloche on the dial. But another really nice choice, and when you start developing an eye for watches and so forth, when you have a dressy piece like this, many times you'll see something that looks dressy, but it might have a three-hand movement, a classic three-hand where they're all coming off the center axis. Here you have small seconds. Small seconds is very classy. It's taking the second hand off of the center axis and putting it on its own axis, okay? Then you have what's referred to as a big date complication, where the date, this one is set for 30, but the 3 and the 0, as you're looking at on the screen right there, are actually on two separate discs. We don't have to go into the whole thing behind that, but it's classy, guys. Take my word on that, okay? Basically what it is, it's kind of a faux mechanical look on a quartz movement. But again, it's a very classy choice for such a dressy timepiece.
It completely is. And the thing, too, that the sunray dial is absolutely exquisite. You don't see that often. And when you look at this, remember, you've got your choice of black or champagne on the dial. They are selling evenly right now, but right now for $33.75 and a value payment. We have less than 2 dozen left in each of these colors. So if you want something sophisticated and comfortable and absolutely impressive, this is it. You've got a genuine leather strap with the, would you call that croco embossing or alligator?
Yeah, alligator embossed.
Alligator, yes.
Yeah, alligator embossed, genuine leather strap. This is a 22mm wide leather strap. So if you wanted to maybe put your own strap on it or something, a standard 22 will fit these lugs. And look at the stylish lugs on this case, too. Even the lugs have a little extra styling to them. It's got what we call a step design and the way that they're angled and everything. But again, the dial work on our Eternal Sunrise, you take a look at the hands. Those are what we refer to as sword blade hands, as you can see right there. Okay, all the indices are individually applied to the dial, but each one of these dials are made one at a time. I mean, it really is a painstaking process. On less expensive watches, in one stamping, they can stamp out 200 or 300 dials. That's
really?
That's not what's happening here. These are all made with respect for the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking
just like a
legend.
wonderful work of art. Now, you look at the craftsmanship that goes into a piece like this, and of course, the detail that you're getting there, everything Larry's describing. To me, this looks very executive, Larry. It looks like something you'd see on the wrist of a very successful executive. Or if you are an executive who then has to go entertain clients at night, or you're taking that wonderful person out for dinner, this is really elegant. It's sophisticated and elegant, and each timepiece in the hour has its own word to describe it. But when I saw this, I just thought success and elegance all combined into one piece.
I agree, 100%. Good call. You know, and the bezel has got that nice polished beveled bezel that goes around like a ring, like an eternity ring. You see that?
Yes.
You see that?
I do see that.
You know?
I do see that. Now you're looking at, again, the Cristerna crystal. Let's talk again about the durability of that.
Well, it's the most shatter-resistant crystal in the watchmaking industry. It has more strength over a spread surface area than sapphire, which means it's not going to break. It comes from the eyewear industry. And, you know, we used to put sapphire crystals in our watches. And about 3.5, 4 years ago, we made the switch to Cristerna, and now that's what we use in all of our watches. And for me, it gives you pretty much the most bang for your buck. I think for the money, it's the best crystal you're going to get.
So you're not going to have to worry about the durability of this. If you're rough on your hands, you've got a keyboard job and you're typing all day, you're going to have a great durable timepiece. But again, it's that elegance, that beautiful level that brings attention to you and makes you stand out from the crowd. I love that. It's $33.75 on a major credit card. 5 months to pay for this today, and it's V90688. You've got a 44 millimeter case size. So for those guys who don't want the really big case, maybe because you're really active with your hands, you're typing on a keyboard, you're an engineer, you're a busy dad, wonderful piece to put on and really effortlessly wear without even feeling that it's there.
Absolutely. You know, you're referring to those big 50 millimeter watches, and those are great sport watches and great for recreation. But for a dress timepiece, I think 44, 45 is about as large as you want to go for something elegant.
I would agree. And it's so elegant, whether you're getting the champagne or the black dial. It is exclusive to ShopNBC, and it's a Stuhrling original. You're getting it on a value pay of $33.75. And Larry is president of Stuhrling, and of course, our national spokesperson, and I would like to give you other titles too, but I can't think of a creative director.
Okay,
Poncho.
I'll take that. Listen.
All right, we've got more. Now, Stuhrling, Larry's here for 2 more shows today. And in the hour that you're looking at today, we have a today only and we have a this visit only opportunity. This is a this visit only. Now, this is our Stuhrling original Gaston Master Calendar timepiece. This is absolutely stunning for $206. It would retail for $875. So we're bringing this to you today for this visit only. So tonight, I believe at midnight, that goes away. That price goes away. This is so much to talk about, whether it be the rubber strap and the 3 color choices that we have here. There's so much. Where should we start, Larry?
Well, first I want to let everybody know this is a brand new piece. This is a brand new model. It's never been seen before, making its debut here today on ShopNBC. And we're so proud of this piece. We've had it in development for quite a while. But this is the Gaston, and this is what we call now on the graphic it actually says master calendar. This is not a master calendar. This is a grand calendar, and there's a difference. A grand calendar gives you the day, the date, the month, and the year. A master calendar gives you day, date, and month. So here you get, and the year is on here. But you also have a retrograde pointer date. Now, all that stuff sounds kind of technical, okay? Let's back off of the technical talk for just one moment here. Keep in mind, this is a mechanical automatic timepiece. There's no battery in this watch. There's no computer chip. This is all operating off of a single main spring. To have a movement that is going to give you the hours, minutes, and seconds, of course, that's referred to as simple time, plus the day, the date, the month, and the year. A grand calendar off a single mainspring is worth every penny of that retail value that you can see right there. Now we look at the design elements that are, here present in this particular timepiece. You have a sandwich-style case. I'm going to put one on my wrist here for you.
3 choices for you. The bezel, either the silver tone, rose tone, or black bezel. The silver tone that I gave Larry is the most limited, but we also have it for you in the rose or the black. The black is so high-tech looking, too.
You talk about
oh, my gosh.
You want to make an impression. Take a look at this. I mean, it looks like
so cool.
It looks like a $20,000 watch, guys.
All right.
And wait till you actually, wait till you actually put it on. To see it on TV, it looks great, but when you put it on, you're going to see all of the, the heft and how well it's made. And the dial As you can see, the dial has been cut away. What you're seeing through the dial is you're actually seeing the top plate of the movement, which has been sandblasted. We have a sandblasted movement in here, and what's remaining of the dial has been treated with what we call a Côte de Genève decoration. You see those kind of vertical bars that are remaining on there. And then you've got a retrograde pointer date that's pointing over to the 30. You see the red, little arrowhead. Once we come in tight, there we go.
This is one of the most interesting timepieces I have ever seen. And you said you've worked so hard to bring this to us. It's new. What I want everyone to think about, too, is the fact that right now the one Larry's wearing, many people have been shopping before we showed this. It's the most limited in the silver bezel. We've got it for you in the rose or the gold. And the rubber strap, it's just so hefty and thick, and it's got presence to it. It's got weight to it. It feels important. It's also sporty. Well,
it is sporty, but at the same time, what a lot of watch companies are doing now, and you can go to your highest brands, okay, is they're mixing materials. And you'll see literally watches that sell for $30,000 and $40,000 are coming on rubber straps. I mean, this is not just Stuhrling original. This is what's happening in the watch industry today. And of course, many of you out there already know this. But, I would love to get really technical with you all right now, but I've been kind of like told, don't get too technical here.
Who told you that?
Well, because, at night, when we're on it, when I'm on at night with Jim or Sean or whatever, and it's like, midnight or 1 in the morning where all the watch geeks are watching, all the really, guys that are into that, they love that kind of stuff.
Well, I hope they're watching this because they're going to miss out. This is this visit only, and I know that you're going to be back later today.
I don't want to, blow people out with all my technical talk, so you're going to have to kind of almost take my word for it on this. Listen to the right voices, and you'll make the right choices. This is an absolute bargain at this visit-only price, and to get a grand calendar at this price by itself is phenomenal. Now, did we even show the case back? I'm going to do that now.
And let's talk, too, about the dial on this. This is very interesting. You've got really intricate work on that dial.
Well, what you have there, the one that Ann is showing you on her wrist right now, okay, that one had the green accents. Are we going to go to that? I'll take a little tour of the watch.
It's got almost an emerald green accents, sterling silver accents. It's got a taupe and almost not a sunrise effect, but champagne striations throughout the back of that too.
Yeah, that's what we call the Côte de Genève decorations on the dial, what's remaining of the dial. But here's the back of the watch. There's the Gaston. You see the decoration on the case back, and that's another thing. When you develop a trained eye,
so cool.
When you develop a trained eye for looking at timepieces, you always want to check your case backs and look at your decorations. On inexpensive watches, you'll see very plain case backs and even case backs that will pop off with a knife. Here you see the corner screws that actually screw down case back. That's more expensive to do. It goes to the water resistancy. It goes to the make of the watch. Now let's take a look through the exhibition case back. You can see the rotor has been plated with black PVD, physical vapor deposition. The back plates, the pillar plates on the movement are treated with Côte de Genève, which is like a circular graining pattern that makes those kind of parallel lines right there. Okay, but here, we take a quick tour of the dial of this watch.
The dial is so impressive in each piece. Now, whether you're getting the rose tone, the black, or the silver tone bezel, you're getting really intricate work on the dial. So let's look at this silver tone.
Well, first you'll notice the flange around the outside. I mean, it has those individually applied, hour markers, which kind of really refract the light and really pop. But now take a look here at the subdial over there at about the 5 o'clock position. Okay, that is your month. That tells you the month of the year. The subdial over there at about the 7 o'clock position, that is your days of the week.
Okay.
Down there at the 6 o'clock position, if you come in real tight, you're going to see, oh, it's 2009. These all have pushers that control these dials, by the way, so they're very, very easy to set. You will get a special tool that you can actually, and then you see the red arrow tip over there at about the 3, it's pointing to the number 30, okay? So it tells you it's the 30, that is your date. And when it gets to 31, it snaps back to 1. It's called a retrograde. You have a retro. To get all of this operating off of a mainspring is truly remarkable, and the price just defies logic, really.
Well, that's why it's at $875 retail value.
Definitely.
This is conservatively $875. Now, it is something that we've taken for this visit only over $40 off of our ShopNBC price. It is so cool looking. 42 millimeter case. It's 9 3/4 inches in that fabulous, very hefty rubber strap. It's V90917, and today only.
It looks like
available.
something Gaston would wear.
It would look like something Gaston would wear, or perhaps you, as a very individual man, want something special that not everyone is going to be wearing. And that's another reason people love to shop with us, Larry, is because they can get exclusive looks.
Well, I'll tell you, this is totally exclusive because it's the first time we've ever shown it anywhere, and I don't think we're going to be able to have any remaining after we're done here. So
I think you're right.
The only place to get it is ShopNBC.
The only place to get it is ShopNBC, and we've shown you lots of looks for the gents, looks that would be unisex as well for you ladies who like the bigger timepiece. But this is for you ladies who want a fashion piece with diamonds, which has a look. And when I saw this before the show, this Stuhrling ladies courtly diamond watch, I thought it looked like a timepiece I'd pay $800, $1,000 for without question. But it's $167.46, and you have your choice in the strap of black, white, red, or brown strap. You're getting diamonds on this as well. You're getting Swiss movement and a value payment of $55.82. The case size on this piece is, let me give you a case on that.
It's a petite case.
It's a 27 millimeter rectangular shaped case. Oh, square shaped case. 27.
Yeah, it's a petite size case. It has 10 points of diamonds, so it's not, you know, overly, it's not 2-3 carats of diamonds. It's 10 points of diamonds. It gives you just a little bit of bling there to be able to sparkle. But it's a very, very elegant timepiece. I could see you wearing this with a cocktail dress.
I absolutely would wear it.
An evening gown kind of a thing. But take a look. It's got the beautiful heart, and the heart has the diamonds that are, you know, going through the heart and integrated with some beadwork in there as well. But even take a look at the little date aperture. You know, a lot of ladies' watches are fashion watches that don't necessarily have, you know, a 3-hand or come with a date. Again, we try to maintain the same level of technical achievement.
So beautiful.
But you'll have a date with a 3-hand movement, and then also, if you take a look at what we call the Cyclops, that is the date magnification. It actually is cut into the shape of a heart, okay? But so you look at the piece, you say, okay, I have a quartz watch here, okay, with a little bit of diamonds, 10 points of diamonds, just to give you a little sparkle. But take a look at the guilloche in the dial. That's done with vintage German machines. These are all produced one at a time.
Isn't that gorgeous?
The case is made from solid steel. It's this one that Ann is showing you now. The red is layered with 16-karat rose gold. Absolutely gorgeous red and rose gold combination right here.
I love that color.
But even on a timepiece like this, you want to look for watchmaking you know, techniques, and you want to look at the make of the watch. On a small, petite, square watch like this, it's actually a curved case, okay? So it even fits the curvature of your wrist. And typically in watchmaking, to have a small, petite case like this,
that's a good point here.
Okay, you don't even really need to curve the case. And curved cases are simply flat out more expensive than flat cases. But take a look. Again, this is what Stuhrling Original is
Really
known
comfortable.
for. It's all about the respect for the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend. This is our courtly, okay? You see the curvature on the case? That's more expensive to do than a flat case.
And then you've got diamonds. And I think, too, when you look at that dial and you look at that strap and you look at the presence of this is, the white and the red are my two favorites, Larry. Ladies, you need to pick this up. I don't care if you have got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 timepieces. You need a fashion statement for spring, and I think the red or the white would be stunning if you want more of a universal color. Black and brown are available too, but I looked too, this is the rose tone gold over this
you know, the rose gold and red, it kind of gives me a little feeling of a vintage feel, maybe like a 1940s. You know, I'm really into like retro deco.
I am
you
too.
know,
I love that stuff.
You like the retro of
Very
the
much.
40s? Well, that red, the rose gold with the red gives you that kind of retro deco feel to it.
Definitely. Now think about wearing this as your new statement timepiece for spring with your cute fashions. When your girlfriends see this, first of all, those 10 points of diamonds look like a little bit more because they're splayed out so beautifully on that heart. But everything about this is stunning, from the rose tone and the red strap. The white comes with the silver tone.
And the black is probably the most dressy.
Black is the most dressy, and then the brown is beautiful too. The brown is rose tone as well. So you're getting really wonderful combinations of metals and leathers together. $55.82. It retails for $560, and this is absolutely stunning. So get yourself a new little gift and have some fun. It's time to have some fun. The snow is melting. Where do you live, Larry?
New York.
New York. So you have snow. You have snow in your world too. We're glad it's gone.
Yeah,
we are definitely glad. All right, here we go into the clearance item. The couple clearance timepieces this hour. The most limited in this choice is the silver tone. Rose tone is the most limited. We have literally 7 left. Black silver tone will follow that. And it's $199.98 on clearance. It would typically go for, on the retail world, $750. Now we're talking about the San Marco. This is the San Marco Power Reserve. It is a value pay opportunity for all of you guys or gals, $39.99.
Well, this is a great opportunity right here on this clearance pricing. This is, again, a mechanical automatic timepiece. It has the crown with the bow up at 12 o'clock position, which is an homage to the old days. This is from our Old World Treasures collection. And when they used to strap pocket watches to the wrist, the crowns were always at 12 o'clock. But here you have one of the most practical complications in watchmaking, a power reserve indicator. And that's up in the corner there in about the 1, 2 o'clock position. You'll see it's like a little gas gauge. When the mainspring is wound, it'll actually tell you how many hours are remaining on your mainspring. And just by where you see here it's pointing somewhere I can't see without my glasses, but I'd say probably around 20 hours you have remaining. And if you were to wind the crown, you would actually see that little pointer up there at the 2 o'clock position. You'd actually see it go up to 40 hours, and you'd be able to tell. And that's a nice thing about having a power reserve indicator, but they're not inexpensive to do. But this is a very classy, a very dressy timepiece once again. And you know, so much of Stuhrling Original is about elegance and grace and dressy timepieces for men. This one is
or for women.
Or for women, again, a power woman. You know, you look like you own this station.
I want to try this on. I'm going to put this on because this is, do I look like I own it? Well, I would like to own it. And the thing about this timepiece, too, you're looking at, first of all, just a really great size, too, with this. The case is a 35mm case, so it will be great for men. It will be great for women. You've got your choices of the black rose tone, black silver tone, silver tone rose tone, or silver tone, silver tone. And as we said before, the silver tone rose tone is the most limited.
Actually, yeah, the silver tone rose tone is the most limited. But the silver tone is the one with the blue hands and blue numerals. And that one, you know, when you have blue hands and blue numerals, it's an homage to Abraham Louis Breguet, who invented the blue process, where you know they would actually furnace blue, where they dip the steel in chemicals and then furnace it, and it would fire to blue. So the blued hands and the blued numerals, if you want that, that's the silver tone, and there aren't a lot of those left to go around. But take advantage of this clearance pricing.
That's what we're showing you right now is the silver tone. We have less than 2 dozen of them left.
This is the silver tone.
Silver tone.
The
black silver tone.
Black silver tone.
I'm sorry, black silver tone. The look of this, too, I'm showing this on my wrist because it could be for a lady, it could be for a man.
Oh, definitely.
It is that fabulous look, genuine leather strap, of course, that will fit up to a 9.5-inch wrist. It's 165 feet of water resistancy with this, too. It's fashion forward, but it's also classic. You know, what makes it different, Larry, is the square-shaped design, but then you look closely at it, and it's a timepiece that you could have for the rest of your life. It's never going to go out of style. It's always going to look great. And Larry's putting one of the versions on his. Which one are you putting on there, Larry?
I guess this is going to be considered the
rose tone.
The silver tone rose tone.
Silver tone rose tone. We want you to see this, man or woman. It's got a very masculine appeal on Larry's wrist. On my wrist, it's a nice big size for a lady.
And it has a really deep mahogany brown strap on it. But take a look at this, guys. And gals.
Okay, we'll put them both next to each other. Either way, gals or guys, it's a great look, and it's $39.99. Now, the clearance price belies the fact that this would typically go for $750 on the retail world. We would typically sell it for $300. Which one's better, guys? Take your vote. You know, look how classy that looks with Larry's suit.
Oh, it's so classy.
And if you're wearing it with like a cute sundress, it's not too big. That's what I like about it.
Oh, definitely. And don't forget, it's mechanical automatic. There's no battery in this watch. We should show the case back if we haven't already.
Let's do that. Also let's talk about the case back. We'll talk about the dial again. The dial's really interesting to look at, too. So much detail goes into each one of the Stuhrling originals, doesn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. We're all about the details. And, you know, these things, we just can't crank them out, you know. I mean, it takes a long time. But as you can see, you have a screw-down case back. You see in the four corners, you see the screws there. That's important, okay? You see the decorations on the movement. You have what we call a Côte de Genève decoration on the back plates. You have a perlage treatment on the pillar plates, and then on the rotor you actually had a damier finish, which is like a net pattern on the rotor. So in other words, just by, you know, you can wind it up, and just by wearing it, it's going to keep it wound. And you see all your numerals that go fanned all the way around the dial. Those are all individually applied to the dial, but it's just such a classy, such an elegant piece, and it's got a power reserve indicator. Just a super value to get a power reserve indicator at this price.
You're also right about that. You've got so much for so little. And one of the things that I've noticed about Stuhrling in the short time that I've been aware of this line and working here is that not only the detail and the value, but the dials are really exceptional. And they have a look to them, and maybe you could speak to that. You know, what sets that look apart, Larry, from other watch manufacturers? Because there is a distinct look in Stuhrling, and I think it's elegance and sportiness combined.
Well, especially in the last couple of years, we've really expanded in our sports category. But for years, it was mostly more about the dress timepieces. But really, what it comes down to when you talk about our dials, it's about taking pride in producing such detailed dials.
Right.
And that's what we have. Our exclusive manufacturing partner is George J. von Berg, a third-generation Swiss watchmaking company and a watchmaker. And George is absolutely passionate about the dials. These are made with vintage German machines.
That's the difference, isn't it?
Yes, and our yield loss ratio on these dials is 1 to 2. We literally throw away 2 dials for every dial that makes it into a watch. It's unbelievable because it has to be absolutely perfect, the little imperfections.
And I think that the dial is the first thing I notice about this line, and it's that vintage styling, it's the craftsmanship that goes into it that makes it so different. You can tell this is an expensive piece typically, and then when you look at that price of $199, there's a disconnect for me when I see that, because it should be $750 conservatively.
Oh, yeah.
$199 is our price on this. You've got value payments, 5 of them, $39.96 on any major credit card. Larry, that looks great on you.
Oh, I love it. I love the
Do you
San
have a
Marco.
favorite in this hour?
Boy, that's tough. You know, I love the Gaston because, you know, it's new.
I can tell you
it's
like
new.
that, too.
I mean, the San Marco, I love this piece, but this is already a signature piece for Stuhrling.
It's a signature piece.
We've had this piece for 4 years now. You know, this is the San Marco is one of our signature pieces.
It is, and we normally would sell that for $300. So if you've wanted a San Marco and you've let it pass you by because maybe you purchased another one from Stuhrling, this is your chance to get another Stuhrling timepiece, but of course it's clearance priced. We're giving you this today. All of the choices are available, but the silver tone, rose tone, we have 5 left.
You know, we didn't even mention that, but it actually does have an animated AM/PM indicator over there at the 9 o'clock position, which is a sun and moon display. So, you know, if it's 9 o'clock, well, if it's got the moon out there, it's 9 o'clock in the evening. If the sun is out there, it's showing in the little window there at 9 o'clock.
In case you live in Alaska where it's light all day.
Right. But anyway,
I'm just being facetious.
I know.
It's
I know.
5:55 in the morning.
I know. You know, actually, Ann makes a really good point. You know, it's really not one of the most practical complications because
But
if you
it's
don't
fun.
know, but it is great in watchmaking.
And the more details like that, the more complications, the more our collectors love them, the more value they have, and the more fun they are.
Well, absolutely, and it is an extra complication because it's operating off of a mainspring. I mean, you have to stop and realize what's going on inside the case.
Right. It's a great look for men or women, and this is your last chance to look at this. This is one of just a few more shows that Larry will be with us for Stuhrling. You're getting this today for $39.95. Check out the website, and thank you so much, Larry. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.